Decatur Arts Podcast, brought to you by the Decatur Area Arts Council.
Hi, this is Jerry Johnson, Executive Director of the Decatur Area Arts Council. And with the rest of the Arts Council staff, we are having one of our regular Zoom meetings. As with everyone, the Arts Council has been affected by the pandemic, and that has affected our ability to offer or support arts activities throughout the Decatur area. But we often get questions from people asking, how's things going down there at the Arts Council? So we thought we would share a little bit about the Arts Council, the impact that this has had, and what we're planning for the near future and beyond. So here we are, all of us, to talk a little bit about the different aspects of the Decatur Area Arts Council and how we do business here in this situation. So I'm going to turn it over to Jason Albright, and he will talk a little bit about his part of the Arts Council's business.
Well, I can tell you the immediate effect that everything that we've all been dealing with had on the Arts Council was our Corks and Forks fundraiser. Biggest fundraiser of the year for the Arts Council, and it draws in a whole bunch of people together in a room, so we could not do that. So we did a virtual Corks and Forks this year. That was something. We learned a lot doing it, and it really did, I think, accomplish what we were hoping it would do, which is bring our community together, even though we were still staying apart at the time. As a fundraiser, it was difficult raising funds, but we were able to come together as a community and still present a fun event virtually, pretty much like we are doing right now via Zoom. But that was the first big sort of kathunk for us. Bus trips have been affected. We had a couple of bus trips left in the season that we were not able to get to, and we're still not 100% sure how this season is going to shake out. We are currently working with Fabulous Fox down in St. Louis, and they're working with the productions that are touring, or at least still considering touring. So we're still kind of a TBD on that, but fingers crossed we'll get down for some Broadway shows real soon. We have upcoming our Decatur Craft Beer Festival, another real big fundraiser for us that as of right now, we're still kind of looking over possibilities, and we're taking things into consideration. We haven't fully committed one way or the other as to exactly what's happening there, but we will be doing that here very, very shortly. But it's just, it's one of those things. We continue to try and find ways that we can still connect with our community in this time of still having to kind of play things apart, and a lot of that comes down to tech, which we are using right now. We did the virtual Corks and Forks. We've been getting our podcast and our VODcast back up and running, which you can find on Spotify. You can find on Apple Podcast, pretty much anywhere that you stream your podcast. Just search for Decatur Arts and look for the big colorful DA, and you can get the latest from us there. And we are also trying other things. We have just recently begun art journaling, and that is on Facebook Live on Tuesdays. Connie is overseeing that along with Jennifer Stout, and we've had 3 really great goes at that, and we're looking to do some more. So it's just, we're doing what we can, where we can, as best we can.
Mm-hmm. So Connie, why don't you speak to what classes we have, we had to pass over, what classes we have planned, and also maybe the impact that the technology has had on the classes that we're offering, and then how we're trying to work around all the restrictions that currently exist.
Sure. We had to cancel April and May classes, of course, and try to regroup. We had some summer classes in the works, and had to pare down our offerings this year. We try to plan classes for families, classes for kids, and classes for adults. So our kid classes, we're going to try to do some Wednesdays in the park, the next 4 Wednesdays. And if weather is inclement, we're gonna meet up in the studio if numbers are small enough and it's a big enough space that we can spread out in there and use our masks. But doing some fun summer stuff, some bubble prints and some 4th of July patriotic things. And that'll be for kids 5 to 12. And then we're gonna try a few Zoom classes. What we used to do is Cocktails and Creations will just be a Zoom class that people can get together in their own small groups and tune in. We tried to pick some things that were kitable, so they can stop by the Arts Council. You can stop by the Arts Council and pick up a kit and then tune in and follow along with the instructor. And really, the purpose is for us to make connections and engage and appreciate art together and the art experience together. So we're trying to find some technological platforms like Zoom that allow us to do that. Jay mentioned the art journaling. That was going to be a get together this summer, but Jennifer Stout graciously offered to help me try it out as kind of a Facebook Live event. So we're 2 newbies at that. We did 3 sessions and we're going to try 3 more. So to kind of get that going. And again, for it to be a connection to community and an encouragement to others. And we've had people in our community and in other states that actually joined us, but it gives us a bit of presence, I guess, and lets people know who we are and things are going on in Decatur. So if people outside of Decatur join us, I think that's great. We'll probably just be continuing to see how things roll and open up during the rest of the summer and then into fall as to how we'll be able to facilitate our classes. But, and then just to really try to fulfill our mission as Arts for All, to be able to offer it to different people at different price points, different ages. So I think that's where we're headed. Did I miss anything?
Oh, that sounded good to me. I guess we'll move on to Jamie if you want to talk about the gallery and the activity that didn't happen and the activity that is happening, and invite everybody to join us.
So in mid-March, the gallery was closed unexpectedly, as everything else was. And so we really were kind of on hold. We ended up having to cancel our April ceramics exhibit, which was a group showing of modern ceramicists from around the area, even outside of Illinois. And in May, the Barn Colony show was canceled. And so we were kind of left not really sure what we were going to be able to do. And so we decided to postpone our International Arts event, which is what we would normally be doing over the summer. And instead, just kind of got to thinking about what we could do to kind of bring the community together, to kind of lift people up. And so we came up with the idea of the Decatur exhibit, which would be a nostalgic exhibit to kind of bring about warm feelings and all the fun things that people loved about the Decatur's past. So it was just a way that we could connect with the community, and I think that's bearing out as it's starting to kind of come out and people are hearing about it. So we titled it Decatur Memories of Our Hometown. So that it's really focused on our memories. So it is focused on things that people who are living today would remember. So we're not really going back to the founding days, but we wanted it to be just lots of fun, and I think that's working out. Going forward in the gallery, we do have the rest of the year scheduled out, and we're just kind of in a wait and see mode. I think this is a time for every business and every group that you kind of have to have a backup plan, and so we're just kind of hoping that everything works out. So we'll see.
Cool. So our gallery hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 throughout June and July, as well as Saturday, 10 to 2. We're offering opportunities for groups, small groups of people to come in and visit our gallery. Our only requirements are that you be a small group, that you social distance when you're in our gallery, you wear a face covering, and that you not touch anything. So you're going to find lots of fun things in the gallery. And again, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, and Saturdays, 10 to 2. And then
you can kind of get a sneak peek behind me a little bit.
Yeah,
what
you
we've
can
got going on.
Behind Jason's virtual background that he's created, a snapshot of a couple of the walls that are currently dressed in our gallery right now with Decatur related items. So Sherry Kane is our administrative assistant, and she manages a lot of the activity that goes on in our building. So Sherry, tell us a little bit about how this has impacted the building and what we hope to do moving forward.
We usually have 2 rooms that are available for rentals, and we were pretty booked up in April and May, and we had to obviously cancel all those. And we have nothing right now for the summertime. So hopefully, we'll get back on track as soon as groups can start getting together again, because a lot of what we hold here is meetings and, parties and things like that. So we have had calls for this fall, so that's a good sign. And people are looking forward to getting back together again. And, if you have an event coming up later on this year, feel free to check with us and see if we can accommodate your group. It'd be great. We love having groups in here and letting people use our facilities. So, that's about the excitement right now.
I might also add that because our building was closed, there were a lot of arts-related activities that didn't happen. Jay is a major player in the Decatur Municipal Band. They're not rehearsing in our building this summer because of limitations to how many people you can have in a group indoors. And then we are not hosting gallery opening events, First Friday events for the summer activity. We're hoping maybe if things reopen enough, we might have a closing event to wrap up our Decatur Memories of Our Hometown exhibit, but we'll see. So the whole pandemic has impacted the activity in our building in that way. Kim, you can introduce yourself, Kim.
Okay.
And then talk about PASS and Arts in Central Park.
Okay. My name is Kim, and I am the administrative director at the Decatur Area Arts Council, and I'm in charge of PASS. And this spring we had to cancel the last 3 performances of our PASS program, and so that was very disappointing. The schools canceled, and so obviously we didn't have any school students to bring to Milliken. We're also sort of up in the air for the fall. So we still don't know if the school's going to be in session and if they're going to allow field trips, and we don't really know what Milliken's status is, whether they're going to allow groups big enough for PASS for the fall. So we have put pause on PASS, and we are very, very hopeful to be able to have some PASS programs in the spring. So keep your fingers crossed on that. Also, I'm in charge of Arts in Central Park. We have not determined a fate for Arts in Central Park just yet. We are moving forward with those plans, and we're excited that we've got lots of new artists that have applied, and so we really, really do hope that we can have it, even if we only have fewer artists. We really do hope that we can have it so that we can introduce art and activities back down in Central Park. I'm also sort of in charge of the office and the bookkeeping and the background happenings of the Arts Council. So I've been writing grants and coming in and making sure that we have bills paid and payroll happening. And so I only come in about 3 times a week to try to make sure those things all happen. And I'm always watching our bottom line. So if you hear Jerry asking for money, it's because I'm starting to panic in the back room. So just, we really are excited about trying to be social again and being creative again and helping our community experience art again.
So as Kim mentioned, funding is always an issue for the Arts Council. We're a not-for-profit organization that relies almost entirely on the generosity of our local folks. Corks and Forks was a modest fundraiser at best this year for us because of the changes we had to make. Craft Beer Festival is our other major fundraising event. And though we are taking a look at our options, it may not be so promising in terms of how that event takes off. We were fortunate, I must say, that so many people were generous this year during our annual fund drive, which is, we usually have March, April, and into May. We actually met our fundraising goal this year, so thank you everyone who made a gift to the Arts Council. We would certainly welcome any other gift that you would like to make if you're out there listening. Just go to our website, decaturarts.org, and click on the Donate Today button that's at the top of the page. But right now, that's kind of where the Arts Council is at. And I want to thank everybody, our entire staff, for doing such a great job. Sometimes we cross paths in the office, sometimes we meet via Zoom, but we're all trying to do what we can to keep the Arts Council going and to present whatever we can to the community and to engage with the arts via, whether it's in small groups in person or it is through technology. And we seem to be getting better and better at that. I'd like to think. Thanks, and we hope to see you in our gallery, which is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, or Saturday, 10 to 2. Check out Decatur, Memories of Our Hometown. Thanks.
Consider making a donation to the Arts Council at decaturarts.org.